we'll call it the happy room. It's a reptile room, but it's my happy room, right? Like, we'll be realistic.
Oh, you almost got it. Oh, keep reaching for it. Lose your mind. What are you doing? Chill.
Welcome back to Talking Serpents. Today is the day that I changed the reptile room just a little bit more. Just need a couple more tweaks here and there. I'm going to be centering this enclosure right here on the left to right here. And since I haven't built a stand for this yet, or I'm not sure if I'm going to be making a couple more of these to stack somewhere else in the room, I'm just going to stack it on top of this enclosure. And then I can finally put my damn cabinets up. This is what holds all my reptile supplies. I'm a very organized person, so I like having all my reptile supplies inside of here. And then as you can see, there's a hole right there and right there. That's where my power strips come in, and all my electrical and all the rheostats are inside there, so that you can't see them, but yet I can open up the cabinets and I can change everything, timers, etc., inside there. You think, oh, I live in Texas, it's hot there. Well, in the winter, it's not. There's been a few nights, like last night was 30 degrees at night, and then the night before was 25 degrees at night. So it's cold. And then I do have, right there's my vent, central AC and heating. So the house is heated right now. So this room, this is my thermometer I'm using inside here for now. So it's about 80 degrees. So since I've been here, every night I've been having to swap to a night bulb. So at night, I have to swap the bulb. But right now I finally have time, so I'm going to add another fixture in there, which is going to be the night bulb fixture, and I'm going to add a guard on there as well. That way I don't have to change it every night. This snake is so active. I gotta figure out how I'm going to be moving this black enclosure off to the side for now, and I think it just hatched me an idea. So I went and got this fold out table that I have, and yeah, that could not have worked any better. That's like the almost exact height. So I'll just slide it onto this table, and then I'll just slide them over here for now. We're gonna give you a heat bulb and new fixture in there. But he wants to come out. Hey, how's it going? Oh, no, focus. There we go. We'll say hi to YouTube. So, 45 minutes later, and I have now found the screws that I needed. Someone that was helping me moving probably put them in this drawer in my toolbox underneath some stuff. I have an organizer with all my screws, so I know exactly where each one is at, because I'm kind of OCD like that. and I searched the whole house twice. And I'm like, we haven't even used those screws since we got here. No way. And I went in the toolbox again and I searched like the weirdest spot, and that's where it was at. 45 minutes later, so I'm a little behind schedule now. All right, got my extra knife bulb in. A little new fixture. Time to center it, put the cabinets up. This part should be much easier. Oh, it's kind of heavy. Kind of heavy. There's one. Definitely difficult by yourself, but it can be done. Starting to look a little better. Another thing I'm kind of thinking about, but you know, when I'm really thinking, it's more like, what do I gotta do to get it done? So my TV used to be here, if you've ever seen this Reptile enclosure before. So I was actually thinking about possibly removing this enclosure right here, or just putting another enclosure on top of it in the end. But more than likely I'd probably end up having to move this enclosure, and I want to get a green tree monitor, or one of those blue green tree monitors. I think they're super cool. I really like those that lizard species, and I think it'd be fun to work with. So that's a possibility of something I'm thinking of in the future. So what I do to secure all my enclosures down and the cabinets, I have screws going from the inside on the corners, as well as, of course, on the cabinets. So in each corner, I have some screws going down. Nice and sturdy. So now it's time to put all bandit stuff back as enclosure. Guess he stayed in his water bowl the entire time. That's what you want. Okie dokie. Cool. All done. Alright, good morning. It's actually the following day for me. It got kind of late last night, so I just kind of put Eclipse's enclosure on the top, and I ran all the wiring into the cabinets, so they're all hidden and in one area off the floor. Looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to know where everything's at and adjust timers and all that. But I do have one power strip right there, and it doesn't have a long enough cord to reach all the way around into this cabinet. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot and get a new power strip. I do buy specific power strips. I'll show you when I get it. Also, I'm gonna try to find a door sweep. I'm not sure if you've been able to see, but I have a towel in front of the door, because there is, I'll just show you, a bit of a gap. There's about a 1-inch gap. So all the heat can escape without that this crummy little towel sitting here. So I'm gonna try to find a door sweep to go on the bottom to keep all the heat in. That'll make this room a little easier to manage. So it's off to Home Depot. Wish me luck. Alright, so I'm back from Home Depot. Time to install all this stuff. I got the power strips I like using. It's got a 6-foot cord. Oh no, 8-foot cord, sorry. Nice flat plug so you can get things real tight, push the enclosure back if you need to. Bandit's vent looked a little Oh, I guess you'll have to see. It looks pretty dirty. Kind of like a little beat up. I'm not sure what the hell he's been doing in there. And then I got the dimmer switches I use. And I found a door sweep. So this will go on the bottom edge of the door so that all the hot air will stay in and the cold air will stay out. Time to fish this power strip through. I'll move this enclosure over a little bit so I can sit through. Found it. Add the timer. Suck it in. Run this electric water back. Okay. And back in business. Now we don't have any more power strips back there. Everything will be a little more hidden. So I can finally push this back a little more. Also, I'm not sure if I've said it, but since there's a gap in between these two enclosures right here, I will be making either some kind of wood panel that will take the whole shape to fill it in, or I might put something across and then drape plants down. More than likely, I'm gonna put color match this stain with the same wood and make a panel to fit in there on top. Maybe have like a little like secret compartment in here or something. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna figure out a way to seal off all entrances so the snakes can't get in back of the enclosure. That way I can just kind of hang out and do whatever in here. So eventually I probably will bring my some of my guitar equipment in here, so I can put my guitars in here. And I'll just open up the enclosures and then they can come out and free roam happily, and then I can be busy doing something else while I'm in my, we'll call it the happy room. It's a reptile room, but it's my happy room, right? Like, we'll be realistic. So next, we got Bandit, my false water cobra. For some reason, his vent has got, I don't know, focus. Well, it's not really focusing, but it's kind of, I don't know, what have you been doing in here? It's kind of beat up. So I picked up another vent. I'm gonna install that. Just like that, you got a fresh new air vent and some new screws. Even though I don't think this snake cares, probably not even a little bit. It's like a little whip tail. Now he wants to go explore. Alright, I got my lamp dimmer switch all hooked up. I got, I use them on a day-night timer. I need a dimmer switch for both of them. Most of my other snakes, like Slipknot's enclosure, he's got, none of his are on a rheostat because the bulbs that are in his enclosure work perfect for the size of his enclosure. So I don't need them on dimmer switches. But this one I do, since false water cobras need much less heat. Next task, let's put the door stopper on, fit that up. I gotta cut it to size and get that towel out of here. Okay, so here's the door sweep. I actually didn't even know what the hell these things were until today. I started researching and I was just like, draft under doors on Google, and then door sweep started popping up, and that's what it's called, a door sweep. It's got two little things in there for extra assurance. It's like 10 bucks. So I marked my center, and then I'm gonna cut off the marks on each end. Time to cut on the saw. left a little overhang on each side. We will see. So far, it looks good. Let's see. Going to be perfect. Turns out it wasn't perfect. I'm actually going to trim a little bit more off. I didn't like the look of it overhanging the door edge a little bit. Very nice cut. Let's hope it's a nice fit. Okay. Not bad looking. Covers up the gap. All right, we got a nice tight door seal. You can even hear it. So, we could say goodbye to this towel. Get out of here, towel. Because also it's gonna get kind of hot here because, you know, I live in Texas. And when it does get hot, we'll obviously be running AC. And I'll figure out some way of capping off the vent inside here during those seasons. Or figure out whatever I'm gonna do. And that way it'll keep this cold and this room hot. Perfect. So I think the only thing left to do today is my cabinets are pretty much empty. All my reptile stuff in it, which all my reptile supplies are in here for now. Everything already organized, so it should be pretty easy. Just categorize it on the ground and then put it in a specific cabinet for whatever it's supposed to be in. All right, all finished. I got all my tubs in. My waters and feeding tubs, cleaning supplies, electrical's all in, etc, etc, etc. I used to have to put my DVDs and video game stuff in this little cabinet since it was in my living room for the last place I was living. But now it's all reptile stuff. Now I have more than enough room, which is pretty awesome. And slip nuts. Enjoying the room. I'm not too worried about the electrical hanging out anymore. Wonder if he wants to explore the rest of the house. And that's why we need the plate there. I'll block off. Open the gates.
Be free. No.
Alright, if you liked the video, strike that like button. If you have any comments, post in the comment section below. If you haven't checked us out on Instagram, I like to post there pretty often, so go check that out. And yeah, have a nice day. See you next time.